What's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today's Monday. And let me ask you something. Everybody loves to cast dispersion. Oh, that's just a conspiracy theory. That guy's a tinfoil hat. He's a nutter. His tinfoil's too tight. Let me ask you something. Do you realize that everything I present on this channel is backed up by either whitehouse.gov, scientific journals, Futurism magazine, TEDx talks, Bilderberg groups, Council for Foreign Relations, and a veritable cornucopia of other things that most people don't even realize exist, and yet they do. Just because you don't understand it doesn't make somebody else an idiot. Do you see what I mean? And that's the society we live in right now. We live in a place where everybody thought it was totally normal for everyone to want to select between Hillary or Donald Trump, a 70-year-old billionaire, elitist, reality show star, or Hillary, the professional Democrat Wicked Witch of the West, who laughs at other political leaders being hunted down, killed, and dragged through the streets. Literally. Do you realize that right now these people, these elites, the wealthy people that own all the football teams that you watch, or they own all the television stations that you spend your time watching, or own all the entertainment things and internet companies that we do everything on? And if not, they own the car companies or they own the oil companies. These are the owners of the world, basically. Do you realize that right now they are having meetings where they are and have been talking for the longest time that within 10 years, within 10 short years, whittling society all the way down to the point where nobody owns anything. You simply live in a place. When you're not there, somebody else lives there. When they're not there, somebody else lives there. You pay for services. You lease your cell phone. You don't own a car. You're not allowed to go off into the desert, out into the woods, anywhere. You're allowed to go into public green spaces. Every single solitary thing that you see, say, think, and dream is recorded. Those are their words, not mine. I'm simply telling you. Do you realize that in the United States of America, whether you know it or not, they've passed enough laws that every adult every day is committing at least 3 felonies according to the laws they've passed? That's a fact. Do you realize that they're trying to make it right now, they're trying to make it so that everybody willingly gives up their guns, gives up their freedoms, gives up their opinions, gives up everything so that we can live in a utopian world of their design, where again, everything that you see, say, think, or dream is recorded. And if you see, say, think, or dream something that doesn't go along with what they say, do you think they're just going to delete your YouTube channel? You think they're going to censor your Facebook page? They're just going to shut you off. And then that's it. They've passed laws that in a national emergency, which is an incredibly broad range of whatever they deem a national emergency to be, they can simply take you and you now work for them for no pay, no matter what, if what you do is valuable to them. Period. It's bad enough that you can never own your own property outright in the United States of America due to a simple thing called property tax. If your grandmother dies and hands off a fortune to you, well, they're taking half of that fortune. All of these things have been slowly and incrementally put in place, and now we're getting to the precipice. We're getting to the Rubicon. These people need to do an event. They need to do something so big that it is a national emergency, that they can take all your weapons away, that they can institute all of these 2030 agendas that they want so bad. The paperwork is out there in droves, but most people are too busy worrying about what Donald Trump's going to do. What's he going to do about this? What's my sporting team going to do? I got to get to work because I got to pay those taxes. Do you see what I'm saying? They've kept everybody busy on the hamster wheel. And when people like myself and many others try to tell you, you instantly pop up the defense mechanism. This guy's a conspiracy theorist. Do you know why? Do you know where? Do you know who made up that term? 1967, Central Intelligence Agency of the United States of America came up with conspiracy theorists to cover their tracks after John F. Kennedy was suddenly assassinated by one man with a magic bullet that shot him and other people numerous times with one bullet from a book depository way far away, way up on the... It sounds like every other story. It's always one person. Do you understand the paperwork of your own government has been declassified, which shows back in the 60s they planned on taking a plane full of people, full of Americans, and disappearing it and blaming it on Cuba so they could go to war? That was back in the 60s. You think they're not doing it now? Of course they are. Our country's been usurped right out from under our feet. They can at any time take anybody they want, no matter what, under the Patriot Act. If you still believe that a man in a cave on dialysis on the other side of the world somehow orchestrated the biggest, most comprehensive attack on the United States of America and the most heavily guarded, heavily secured, heavily monitored place in the world, the Pentagon, you're going to get what you deserve. There's people like us that go through non-stop harassment by unseen forces. We go through non-stop censorship, go through non-stop hardships trying to wake people like you up. There might be a reason for it. There may be a reason they're shutting us all down so that we don't have a voice anymore. Because that a big turning point, that big Pearl Harbor, that big never forget 9/11 event is on its way. And first, they have to make sure people like me aren't around to point it out to people like you. Last call, people. Last call. They're getting ready to hand over the entire national security apparatus, political apparatus, commerce apparatus, retail apparatus, and intelligence apparatus to an artificially intelligent machine. Did we or did we not grow up watching things like this on television as children, and every single solitary one of them ended horribly wrong? That was predictive programming since we were children to get us to accept what they're doing right now as we're adults. And instead of paying attention to the things that these mad scientists and these rogue government agents are doing, we're arguing about left, right, Democratic, Republican, which sporting team, which we sit here and paint ourselves up and watch men in tight clothing chase each other around over a ball. Wake up, people. Wake up. Richie from Boston.